Hey, here's Cap here, and we have an exciting day as episode 4 of Moon Knight just wrapped up, and the ending left us all in that massive cliffhanger. So if you have not seen episode 4 yet, go watch it before you continue this video, as I don't want to spoil anything for you. But if you have, let's talk about that surprise ending, Taweret, the psych ward that now Mark and Steven both coexist in, and what it all means for the future of Moon Knight. So as we saw, episode 4 ended on this massive cliffhanger where Steven and Mark both kind of coexist, an acknowledgement that they're both physical entities in this seemingly like psych ward-esque kind of place that they now both coincide in. It's kind of interesting to see how they both kind of like hug each other. It's almost like they've missed, they're still alive, they remember the same last thing. So they don't feel completely insane. However, we get nods to Layla's there, the cops that kind of grabbed Mark and Steven up. They're there as the kind of the doctors of, or not really the doctors, but the people that kind of restrain the ones that need to be restrained a little bit. And Harrow seems to be the doctor behind all of it to make you think about your feelings, get them all lined up and ready to go. So it's very interesting to have this where it's so different than what we were used to. We were just in Egypt. We see Harrow pull the gun on Mark, pull the trigger twice, and he falls into this water saying he can't save those who don't save themselves. And as he falls into the water, we get transported into like this psych ward-esque style place, but still had nods to like almost being in like a pyramid in like ancient Egypt. You've got the white around. We've eventually run into Mark, who's holding like a weird little Moon Knight figure. We've got Tomb Buster on the radio or on the TV with even like that Indiana Jones style music behind it. And he says, "You're Dr. Stephen Grant." It's like, oh my gosh. And you start to think this was all in his head until eventually you continue on and Mark escapes Harrow and the doctors. He pushes open a tomb and poof, there is Steven, which kind of shows maybe they're not dead. Maybe they're not crazy either. That this is somehow a way for them to, for Marvel to give a nod to Mark's dissociative identity disorder that he clearly suffers from, with him and Steven both different personalities sharing the same body, as well as a third personality that we were kind of teased with episode 3, not really talked about episode 4 until we get another tomb that's standing up with someone else banging in it, trying to get out. I was like, Steven, go open it. Steven, open the tomb. Like, give us Jake, who's supposedly the third personality that is kind of more of a main personality for Mark and Steven both to deal with, learn to adapt to, and bring into the show. Now, with all that, of course, it also ends with a surprise appearance of none other than Taweret, which, if you're not familiar with Taweret, that's not really surprising, as it's not an Egyptian god that was part of the Ennead or ever really mentioned in Marvel Comics ever. And now people are going to go scrounging through comics trying to figure out where she fits in, where she ever was, but there's been no recollection of her, and it's kind of interesting as she is the Egyptian god of fertility and childbirth, but she also bears a couple of other names, such as the Lady of Heaven, the She Who Removes Water, and Mistress of Pure Water. Those two I want to stick on because, as we saw when Mark was falling backward after getting shot, he lands in this pool of water. And we all know that water can symbolize cleansing, pure, birth, of busting out of the water into a new shell, into a new person. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe they use this opportunity, and Taweret is Mark and Steven's way to get basically come back to life, as Taweret does have powers of rejuvenation as well. She has powers to bring you back from the dead or to cleanse you before you move on and are ready for the afterlife in Egyptian mythology. So it'll be interesting to see what they go with here, whether she's just the one that kind of gets them ready, cleanses them, lets them show like they can work hand in hand. We've seen how Mark's Moon Knight suit is the classic suit, and then Steven's more of the Mr. Knight. He's got the suit, the tie, he's very clean kept. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of tie all this up, fix it all together for the last 2 episodes of Moon Knight and where they go with it. I definitely still believe that Harrow is the bad guy. Amit needs to stop from getting raised, but I think now we're at the point to where Khonshu is going to get released. The question is, how many other gods are they going to release when they release Khonshu? Let me know in the comments below how you think this is going to end and are interested in comics. Be sure to check out Welcome to New Egypt. It's a graphic novel of about 5 or 6 series of comics that came out in 2016, where Mark and Steven kind of had to deal with the fact that people think they're crazy, and they firmly believe that they are, in fact, Moon Knight. Definitely worth checking out. Read it and see how that story coincides with this story and what it means. As always, heroes, until the next video, stay amazing. Bye-bye.